All right, our uke is ready to string up. I've got my nut installed and cut. I've got my saddle installed. There it is. So I don't know what kind of strings y'all have, but I like these Diodarios. They're clear nylon. These numbers down here are describe the thickness of the string, and they start from what we call the bottom to the top of the fingerboard. So 28, 32, 40, 28. So the first and the fourth string are the same. There are a lot of different different brands of ukulele string, and there are different materials. These happen to be, for me, for beginners, a good kind of sweet spot in terms of the differential between cost and performance. And now you'll see on the inside here where it says first silver, second purple, third green, fourth black. And you see each string has a color flag on it. So silver is the first string, and then purple, and then green, and then black. Silver, purple, green, black. Now, the first thing we have to do is get them attached to our bridge. And different people are going to tell you to do this different ways. The way that I like to do this is I like to attach them all to the bridge first and then start stringing it up. Other people might tell you to do it a different way, and that's fine. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through this hole like that. And I can help you in class because this is a lot of steps. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the right. I'm going to come around, and I'm going to go under, and then I'm going to go under again. See that? And then I'm going to pull that tight. And I want to make sure I have enough tail to go all the way along the bridge. Okay. So that's our silver flag. Next, purple flag. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to uncoil the string. I'm going to go through the hole. Okay. It's a little confusing because they start curling up on each other. There we go. So now I'm going to go do the same thing. I'm going to go to the right-hand side. I'm going to come back around and go under once, and then under again. Now, when I pull this one tight, I'm going to make sure that my first string is pulled underneath it. So let me see if I can get that here so the camera can see it. See how the first string comes and goes underneath that, and that captures it? We're going to do that with each of these strings moving forward. So that was our purple flag. Now we're going to go to our green flag. And this is our thickest string. And so we're going to do the same thing with that. We're going to feed it through the hole. Capture those, there we go. Through the hole. We're going to go to the right, and then we're going to come back and go under once and under twice. But before I pull this tight, I want to do the fourth string because it's going to come back this way. So fourth string is black. Here's my black flag. I'm going to go through the hole. Now this is going to be slightly different. I'm going to go through the hole. I'm going to come up, and this time I'm going on the left, not the right. I'm going to go on the left. I'm going to go under one. It takes a lot of moving parts here. Under one, and then under two. Like that. Now this is going to go through back the other way. So it wants to capture. It takes a little bit of finagling, and I can help you with this step in class. So this is what it should look like when it's strung up. The first string goes underneath the second, third, and fourth. The second string goes underneath the third and fourth. The third string goes under the fourth, and the fourth string goes back under the third. And this is just going to keep these really nice and neat down on this end. Now let's go to the other end of the ukulele. So the first thing we can do is we can pull these flags off because we don't need those anymore. We know what goes where. I like to do the first string and then the fourth string and then the second and then the third. So I'm going to pull my string up across the bridge. I'm going to go through the hole, through the notch in the nut. And then here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go through the hole in the tuner itself. And I want that string to be going from the neck down the inside. So it's coming and going on the, it's coming and it's going on the inside of that and through the hole. Then I'm going to go back around and I'm going to send it through that hole again. So I'm actually I'm capturing it. So it comes through the notch in the nut. It goes on the inside, through this hole, around and back through the hole. And the reason for that is, depending on the tuners that you're using, sometimes when you go to tune it, it'll slip out. That'll keep the string from slipping out of the tuner. So now we're going to do the same thing with the fourth string. I'm going to come down the neck. I'm going to go on the inside of the tuner. I'm going to go through that hole. And then I'm going to go around and back through that hole. Same hole. Okay? So now I have my first and my fourth strings into the tuners. Now I'm going to do the same thing with the second and the third. I start with the second. You can start with the third. It doesn't really matter. It's got to happen to all of them. So what we're going to do is we're going to come down, go through the notch in the nut, go inside the tuner, go through the hole. Go through the hole. Then we're going to go around the tuner and back through the hole. And now, lastly, we're going to take our third string. We're going to do the same thing. Now this one's thick enough that it might be a little bit of a struggle, but we're going to go through that hole. See, I've gone inside the tuner, through the hole, around, and with the third string, sometimes you can't get it through twice. And in this case, I cannot get it through twice. But that's okay because it's thick enough that it'll be okay. Now, just to make it easier and we not have all these tails, I'm going to cut off most of these tails. So I've cut off most of the tails. I've left about half an inch or so. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn these until they tighten up. And you can hear it getting higher as I tighten it. So now I've got tension on all of these strings. The thing about ukulele strings, nylon strings in general, is that they take a long time to stretch out. So for a while after you tune it, you're going to find that you have to keep tuning it. You have to you'll play a song and then you have to tune it, and you'll play a song and you have to tune it. I'm stretching them out a little bit right now. You want to be delicate with it, gentle with it. You don't want to pull too hard, but I'm pulling on those to stretch them out, and then I'm going to take up some more slack. And that's normal. It's normal for it to take a while for the strings to stretch in. The nice thing about nylon strings is that you don't have to change them very much. They'll stay good for a long, long time, much longer than wound strings and steel strings will. So the best way to stretch them in is to play it. Is to play your uke, play it loud, hit it hard. So I'm going to let these stretch in, and then I'm going to come back and we're going to tune it up and see how it sounds.